Today's question for you: is it worth renewing your Autel Diagnostic Tool software subscription? If you're on the fence and you're out of a subscription right now and you're just trying to decipher whether it's worth it or not, this is going to be a very, very good presentation, because what I'm going to cover today is all about subscription update misconceptions. I'm going to take my 10 plus years and try to give you some clarity by eliminating all the BS about update subscriptions, okay? Because by getting the wrong advice, you can be spending a lot of money, all right? So for those of you who don't know, welcome to my channel. My name is Curtis Harden. I'm an Autel Diagnostic Consultant. And what you're gonna learn today is the following. What's included when you purchase an update subscription? Second, why are there so many different prices? Third, if updating will lose certain special functions. And also, if it's worth renewing your Autel subscription. All right, so with that, let's jump right into it. First question, what's included in an update subscription? Well, there's several things. First, it puts your tool back under warranty. Second, it allows you to download the latest vehicles, all right? Third, it gives you access to certain functions that are on Autel servers, so like for BMW or Mercedes programming if you have the Elite. And then it fixes old software issues. So say, for example, there was an issue of auto detecting. Maybe they sent an update that will rectify that. And then lastly, it adds new special functions to your tool so you can do more things. All right, second question. If I update my Autel diagnostic tool, can I add software from other Autel models? Okay, so the question to this answer is no, you cannot do that. And there's two reasons why. One, if you look at it at a bigger scale on a business level, it's not the most profitable thing to make what I call the Jesus tool, meaning a tool that will do everything. Okay, that's why every year when you buy a cell phone, they have the technology right now to make the perfect phone, all right? But they're not going to do that because of long-term profitability. So that's one reason why. The second reason is each tool might have a different hardware level. So let me give you a prime example. If I have a Maxi Elite, and let's say I'm starting to get like heavy duty commercial trucks, the voltage of the truck diagnostic tool, the MS908CV, that's like a 24 volt tool. The Elite's just a 12 volt. So the hardware wouldn't do it. And then that might cause some memory issues. So some of you right now are probably having experiences where your diagnostic tool is going slow because there's not enough memory. So if you were able to add on that other software, that's just you're not going to have enough memory to take on all that software. All right. So that was a very good question. Let's go to the next one. Why do I see different prices? All right. So this is a very simple answer. Let me give you an analogy. Let's say this is website A selling an update subscription, and this is website B. Okay, they're selling the same product. Now, how is this website going to differentiate itself from the other one? Well, what most people do, they just lower their price. They lower it, 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 and that gives them a value proposition. And that's pretty much it. Now, if you get too low, all right, it might not be a valid offering that they're giving you, okay? I have heard of stories of people who, went online and they were buying a subscription at a very, very good price, and it ended up not being anything. So, I don't know. If you want certainty, you can maybe call Autel. They can give you a list of dealers that they can do. I don't play that game, as you guys know. My pricing is higher because I'm more about value. Okay, so that's why there's different prices. Just make sure you have a very good reputable source where you get it, and just, I guess, stick with it. It's kind of nerve-wracking at first, you know, because you don't know, you've never done business with that seller maybe, but if you do find it, you know, share it with your friends and you should be fine. But that's why there's different prices. They're just, they don't know how to make a good value proposition, so they just lower the price. Okay. Next question. I'm not able to diagnose any 2019 Chryslers. Is it because my subscription is expired? All right, well, there's two reasons. Okay, so as you know, Chrysler has this thing called the security gateway. And basically, why they implemented this was because there was actually a hacker who got into their systems, and they showed Chrysler and they freaked out. So they made it very difficult for third parties to get into that information. So first, we have a special cable that will allow you to do that. But second, you need a valid subscription. So let me give you a prime example. This is from one of my body shop clients in Hawaii, and he has the Elite. Now, he was trying to diagnose this Jeep. I think it was a 2018, and what happened was he had this error. So he gave me a call and he said the network is error. Please check the network is fine. Error code blah blah blah. Now, if you can see, his internet is full. So I already knew the symptoms. So I registered his tool, and then as you can see here, then it downloaded some file from Autel servers, and then it prompted him to go to the diagnostic screen. Okay, so when you are working on the Jeep or any Chrysler product on the 2018, 2019 to present day, you do need a valid subscription. For all the other vehicles on the diagnostic software, you're not going to need that. So that should answer your question. My dealer says if I update my tool, it will add on the other features that I'm missing. Okay, let me explain something to you guys. Just because they are a dealer doesn't mean they have your best interest or the knowledge to know if that feature is on there. So I'll give you a quick story. There was a friend of mine, he's a dealer. His client had the Maxisys Pro. The client was trying to write a VIN number on a Ford, and that function wasn't there. So the client called the dealer and asked him, hey, I don't have this feature. So the dealer said, you know what, you need an update, you need an update. So the dude paid for the update, which for his tool is like $1,200, and the feature still wasn't there. Okay, it still wasn't there. So he contacted me, oh Kurt, the guy's pissed off, and you know, I had nothing to do with that. But you guys got to be careful where you get your advice from, because as I said, some dealers don't have your best interest. The only way I would trust a dealer is if they had it verified by an engineer. All right, if the engineer says, yes, we have this feature on there and you need it, then I would do it. Okay, so just be careful with that. All right, next question. If I don't update my tool, will it be locked? No, Autel does not lock tools. You can skip many years as you want. The day you do decide, it'll erase everything and then put everything up to date. Okay. The only negatives is you won't have access to certain features like, you know, the programming, and you won't get any updates, and your tool will be out of warranty. All right. Next question. I heard if I update my tool, I might lose some features. Is this true? All right. So this is kind of tricky, and I don't want to freak you guys out. So yes and no, but hear me out. All right. So each time you press the update button, all right, there's what I call, there's a risk reward ratio. There's a small risk that a feature that was maybe having problems might be removed to be put back on at a later time. Okay. And at the same time, there's a high possibility or high reward that there's going to be more features. Okay, so the way I manage my clients' accounts, and what I typically do is I only like to update when I face a problem that only an update can fix. All right, I kind of use the same philosophy as J2534 programming. Like, you can't just be updating all the modules without a purpose, without a reason that prompts you to do it. Okay, so I don't want to tell you guys, like, if you're in a subscription now, not to press the update button. I mean, you need to get your money's worth, but that's the philosophy that I do. Okay, I only like to do it because the other thing is too, and a lot of people have experienced this. Remember maybe last year sometime, the icons were in color. Okay, now all the tools now are in black and white, and that pissed off a lot of people, you know. So that's why I kind of like, I mean, do I need to update, you know? So that hope that answers your question. All right, sometimes they'll take off little features, but they'll add them on later because they just need to get it fixed. All right, next, do I need a valid subscription to do the key coding with the IM 508 and the IM 608? All right, it really depends on the volume of key coding that you're doing. So if you're doing a lot of European, and you know, or if you have like one key coding tool on you, it'd probably be advisable to have a subscription, because as you may or may not know, some manufacturers, when you're doing the key coding, need to, let's say, update like the CAS module in order to relearn the procedure, or some manufacturers do need a valid subscription in order to do that relearning procedure. Okay, now on the other hand, if you're just doing the key coding casually, and you're probably working on just, you know, maybe American, maybe some Asian vehicles, you don't need it. Okay, you know, so it really just depends on, I guess, the amount of volume you're getting. And I know with locksmithing, you guys can't be wasting any time. You know, you don't want to get there and, oh, it's not working because your tool's not up to date. So you can make that decision. I purchased a secondhand unit and found out later it was reported stolen. Will purchasing an update unblock the unit? All right, let me zoom in for this one. No, it won't. It will not. The only way to get that tool unblocked, all right, is if the original person who made the complaint goes to Autel and unblocks it. All right, otherwise it's going to be a brick. And this is why I tell you guys to be extremely cautious if you're buying secondhand units. I don't advise it, because as I said before, most of the time you end up spending more money because you don't know what baggage came with it. All right, so just take that into consideration. All right, cool. Next question. Will an update card for the Maxis Elite work for the Maxis Pro? It will not. When you buy an update, all right, there's actually I think an SKU number associated with every update card. The SKU will have the name of whatever tool that it's allocated for. Okay, so you can't purchase like a 906 TS update card hoping that will work for a BT and vice versa. Okay, it's specific to that model. All right, next, I reformatted my tablet and I'm out of a subscription. Do I need to purchase an update card to get my software back? Yes, let me zoom in on this. Let me tell you guys something. Okay, if you are near the end of your subscription, I highly recommend backing up your stuff. All right, because there's a probability that in the future, A, your tablet's going to start to run slow, or B, there might be a glitch that comes on it. Like maybe you start clicking GM and it doesn't work anymore. So if that's the case, you can delete the software, and if you have a backup, then you can just drag and drop it back onto the diagnostics app and you'll be fine. Okay, if you do this without backing it up, if you delete your software, you're screwed. Okay, you're unfortunately going to have to pay for that update subscription. Okay, so moral of the story, back your stuff up. Can I purchase the ATIS subscription and add it to my device without buying a calibration kit? You can't do that, guys. You can't do that. When you buy an ATIS subscription, it's going to ask to be paired with that calibration frame. Okay, you can't buy the subscription and say, oh, okay, I can get my own frames. You can't MacGyver it. You can't do that. All right, so you cannot do that. All right, next question. I recently purchased a replacement battery, but the unit only turns on when the power cord is plugged in directly to the tablet. Will an update card fix this issue? Okay, this is a very good question. So if you decide to purchase an update, okay, there's a high probability that it will rectify the issue. Okay, what you're going to do is go to system settings, do a complete factory reset, download the new software, and what will this do is this will reset the battery curve. All right, but don't take this advice for gospel. Okay, this is not a guaranteed fix. Okay, and if you think about it, the whole purpose in buying a battery is to actually avoid paying for that $1,200 update fee to then, you know, send your tool away. So yeah, I wouldn't. It's a risk that you can take, but based on what my engineers told me, an update should fix that problem. But if this happens to you guys, I highly recommend getting consulted, because if talking to you, I'm able to surface what the root of the problem is. I can tell you if that update is going to fix it or not. Okay, so something that you guys can think about. Now, this is the question that everybody is waiting for. Okay, should I renew my subscription? And I wish I can give you a straight answer, but there's two reasons why you need to do it. So the first one is the severity of the problem. Okay, and the other reason is it depends on who you talk to. All right, so if you talk to, you know, any dealer who's selling it, of course they're going to tell you that. Of course they're going to say you need your update. All right, and it does have its benefits, but you have to think, do they really have your best interests? Okay, I would respect somebody if I told them, you know, what my situation was, and they said, you know what, you actually don't need an update. I would have more respect to that. But if they're just saying yes, then, you know, free advice could be the worst, the most expensive advice. So just be careful about that. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to share with you what approach I do with my clientele who come from different industries. Okay, so these are the type of problems they have that will indicate if they need an update. If you're in the auto body repair industry, you're probably working on brand new vehicles. Okay, so if that's the case, you can't afford not to have your tool up to date, because if you scan a vehicle and it's not on the software because your tool isn't getting those latest updates, that could be a problem for you. All right, and for those of you who don't know, every year when the new year starts, it takes Autel about 6 months to render that year's software onto the scanner. Okay, so most of my auto body repair clients, if they're working on newer vehicles, they'll have their thing always up to date. Second, auto dealerships. Now, people who buy and sell cars, they're buying secondhand vehicles. Most of them that I know, they have more of a mechanical background. All right, they're not doing like a bunch of programming and coding. I mean, maybe here or there type of thing. These guys, they just my clientele, these guys can be out of a subscription for a while. Okay, until they get to a point where the vehicles that they're buying are not on the scanner. Okay, So these guys can hold off pretty much. Fleet companies, it really just depends on your fleet. If your guys are buying brand new vehicles every year, yeah, you need a new subscription. Okay, if you have older vehicles, the software will be updated to 2019, 2020 already, so you wouldn't need to do it. What else we got? Locksmiths. So locksmiths, I think you do need to have your tool up to date, because you don't know what you're gonna get. Like if you had an area of expertise and you don't work on certain manufacturers, if you just work on mostly American or Asian, you can probably get away with not having it. But most of the time, my locksmith clients, they get theirs renewed. Auto mechanics, they can get away with it without having their tool up to date. Usually they'll update their tool every maybe 2 to 3 years, just because of the new vehicles. And when they start to get problems with the tool, that's when they'll update it. Same with mobile mechanics. They're in the same industry, just doing things mobily. Transmission repair shops. These guys, they can be out of a subscription for a while. They're just doing like relearning and stuff like that. So, if they're not really working on brand new vehicles, they should be fine. And then for a J2534 program, if they need to program a module, they use a laptop anyway, so you wouldn't need it. And then people who work from home, yeah, your car, you probably aren't buying brand new vehicles. If you do, it's probably going to the dealer because it's under warranty. So yeah, these guys can keep their thing out of warranty for a while. And the auto glass repair industry, they're probably doing a lot of ATIS stuff, so it's probably recommended for them to keep their stuff up to date. Okay, so summary. Spell summary wrong. Anyways, number 1, be careful where you get update advice. Okay, if you have a relationship with your vendor, make sure they really have your best interest. Okay, because as I said, there's a motive behind it. Some vendors get compensated for the update if they sell it to you directly. So just make sure. All right. Second, back up your software before your subscription expires. Okay, it will save you a lot of money and a lot of grief. All right. Third, be careful where you buy your subscription. Okay. The lower you go, the more riskier it is. All right, depending on where you buy it from. Okay, so trust your gut feeling, do your research. If you have a friend that found it cheap, ask where, share that advice or whatever. Okay. Lastly, if you're still confused and want certainty, book a consultation. I can give you concrete information whether you need to buy an update or not. And I can sell it to you directly, and this way you'll know, and then you'll receive those benefits of buying an update through me. Okay, so with that, guys, that's it. I hope you have a bit more clarity. Comment, like, subscribe, and with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.